Look out. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal and that they are endowed by the Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We all have heard those words before. And then a little bit later in the Declaration of Independence, I think the founding father says something about a king and absolute tyranny.
Mm. And tomorrow is actually Independence Day. But when you stop and think about it, they're getting rid of our histories. They're getting rid of, changing the name off of battleships and everything like that. So we're disappearing. They're disappearing us.
That's right.
So actually, whose Independence Day is it?
Mine was Juneteenth.
Is it white folks? Because we being erased. Give it another year or two.
Right. And just like then, we're watching in real time as Congress sneakily extended the abortion ban to every single state. It's in the big, ugly, fat, ugly, nasty ass bill that just passed. They got rid of, they put an abortion ban in there. We know cuts to Medicaid, cuts to Medicare. Making me mad. Cuts to food stamps. Hey, I am so pissed off right now. I am so pissed off.
I can see you've been kind of pissed off most
and heartbroken.
To make matters worse, SCOTUS or Scrotum, us, just gave a weird ass ruling that is going to make it so that a child born in one state is a citizen, but if they move, they might not be a citizen in the new state that they live in or moving to.
Make that make sense. Make that make sense.
And SCOTUS is in the pocket. They got to be. At least the majority of them.
6 of them.
With the R's behind their name. Mm-hmm. Do they have R's behind their name?
They don't.
Okay. But we know who they are.
We know who they are. They got billionaires. We know that.
Yeah, they got to be getting paid. I know Clarence is being paid.
That's right. All right, we've been told we're too chitty chatty and we should get to the point.
Yeah, that ain't gonna change. We're gonna be chitty chatty and shitty shatty and everything.
I know. But look, here's the 7 steps to move abroad in 6 months. Write them down. Get your pen and paper out.
We'll give you a minute.
Write them down, and then you can go research them on how to do it. You can go do your Googles, right? Mm-hmm. All right. But for everyone else, you want to stick around to the end because we will include information on how the big, fat, ugly bill is going to affect your move abroad and the things that are going to change.
Oh, you took my line.
Well, because you were too slow. Step 1.
I was going to chitty chat. I wasn't done.
Step 1.
Choose your destination.
Don't go out of the frying pan and into the fire, y'all. Build community abroad. Start online now, right? Our Black Utopia has our Fire Over 50 Facebook group. Most of the folks who are in that Facebook group either live abroad or are moving abroad.
Step 3. Where's that income coming from? And how much do you need to move?
Our Move Abroad Toolkit in the description below has a budgeting template and all the things that you need to put your life in order when it comes to the money. Now, our side hustle challenge is sold out, so it's too late for that, but you can wait until the next time if money is the issue. Number 4, understand visa requirements and visa and residency requirements. There are different visas, different types, different countries have different requirements. So number 5,
health and insurance.
Right. Understand what the healthcare situation is where you're going and what the insurance situation is.
Yeah, just because they have universal healthcare does not mean that you can access it immediately.
Exactly. Get your documents in order. Okay. You're going to need a bunch of documents and you might as well start getting that in order now, especially for things that might have to be certified, like a certified birth certificate or a certified marriage certificate, mm-hmm. Right? Number 7.
Settle your affairs in the United States.
Yeah. You don't want to have stuff hanging over your head, y'all. You don't.
Yeah. So yeah, we didn't introduce ourselves.
Oh, that's right. Hey, y'all. My name's Halisi.
And I'm Rick. Welcome to our Black Utopia.
On our channel, we talk about money, travel, and life abroad. We help folks who look like us who are getting close to retirement age and forgot to plan, get their money straight so that they can retire on time or maybe even abroad.
Abroad is a very, very good thing nowadays.
Yeah.
And right? Early is good too.
Early is good too. But first, if you're new to our channel, then you might not know. I don't know, back in 2018 or sometime like that, Rick and I were getting close to retirement age. We looked at our money and it looked crazy.
It was crazy, crazier than this stupid, nasty, dumbass bill they just passed. That's all I'm going to say.
But we did get our financial act together. And we went from negative to 22,000 to over 1.1 million in net worth. We'll see if that lasts, since some of our worth is tied up in real estate, y'all, in the United States. So we'll see if that lasts. But at this point, we have 1.1 million in net worth. And if we can do it, you can do it too. Any of that sounds interesting to you, please subscribe. We know that 50% of the folks who watch are not subscribed. We think that this information is important information for our community. So we're trying to get to 100,000 subscribers. And we would appreciate if you would subscribe.
Yes.
Hit that notification bell twice so that you know every single time that we go live or drop a new video.
Hey, and if you want, join us, join our group, join the Utopians, join the Legends,
YouTube channel.
The YouTube channel.
Yes. So when you join the channel, you get a lot of stuff. It's all in this in when you join, you'll see all the perks that you get. You can join us behind the scenes, et cetera, et cetera. But we're going to get right down to it. So no taxation without representation. That's what white folks have been screaming when they decided to fight back against British control, right? And the taxes imposed without a voice in the process.
Yeah. So Citizen United has allowed 83 billionaires to control Congress through purchasing their allegiance, paying lobbyists, and ensuring that policies benefit the ultra wealthy while the rest of us are left with little to no influence.
Because money speaks, y'all.
When it talks, people mumble.
Right? Money talks, people mumble. I love when you made that up. We are still taxed, but the decisions on how our money is spent are driven by what the elite want, right? Oh, yeah. And that's been happening over the last few decades. This is not new. And it's been happening under every single president since Reagan, at least since Reagan, right?
So that's what we have. So what we have now is the modern day representation without taxation.
You mean taxation without representation, right? Because what we have now is performative, right? It's like performative representation. Politicians go through the motions of democracy, right? While serving the elite. So yeah, it's modern taxation without representation. Black folks, we got to wake up.
Yeah, we have.
We have to wake up. They are building alligator Auschwitz. Alligator Auschwitz. Yeah, I said it. I heard that first from Larry, one of my favorite podcasters. And her explanation was simple. Alcatraz is the place where they sent convicted criminals, people who had gone through due process and been convicted. Auschwitz is where they sent innocent people. So I'm calling it Alligator Auschwitz.
Speaking of Alligator Auschwitz, did you know that back in the day, they used to use black babies as alligator bait? It was common, and it happened.
That's right. I knew. I knew Alligator Alcatraz had some racist roots. Of course it does. Look, and when I did my Googles, look what I found, y'all. Look what I found. Wait. You see that? For all you folks who want to get up in the chat and saying, oh, we're fear-mongering, we lying, and this and that, know your history. Know your history. The depiction of African-American children as alligator bait was a common racist trope in American popular culture during the late 19th and the early 20th century. This image appeared in postcards, right? Advertisements, songs, and other media reinforcing the dehumanization of us. These are some sick FUCKs, right? They are sick. These are the same people who on 4th of July used to hang us up by the tree and then have a picnic while they watched us die. These are the descendants of these people. The people who are in the United States Congress right now are the descendants of these despicable people that are not human.
No, they're Christian, aren't they?
Are y'all ready to leave yet?
Are you tired yet?
Here's the checklist. Number 1, choose your destination. Don't just pick some random country, right? Pick somewhere where you can thrive, like Portugal, or maybe, I don't know, Nigeria or Mexico.
Ghana.
Yeah, Colombia, right?
Panama.
Panama. Places that offer peace, stability, and actual opportunities for Black folks to live in peace and just be left alone.
Yeah. Consider places where the government's not out to get you, where the cost of living is reasonable, and where healthcare actually exists.
Right? So review your eligibility for the foreign tax. Okay, here we go. Big, beautiful, big, bad, ugly fucking bill. Review your eligibility for the foreign tax credit and assess if your destination country could be considered to have unfair tax rules. Okay. Right now, we don't know what that means, but I want you to put that on your checklist. Number 2, build community abroad.
The last thing you need is to be out feeling isolated, connected with Black expats communities before you leave. Please connect with them. Social media groups, local forums, or even our events will help you feel at home faster.
Yeah, you cannot replace having community with other Black expats. Yes, we have community with locals as well, but they're not going to be able to tell us how to get that immigration appointment for our renewal because they don't go through that, right? They're not going to necessarily be able to tell us, where we can get our haircut, especially if they're not Black, right? So don't forget to check out the communities in your country that align with your culture, right? Whether it's African, Caribbean, or you are an African American expat.
That is very important.
Right? Step number 3.
Where's the income coming from and how much do you need to move? You don't want to get caught slipping? Make sure you've got at least 6 months worth of expenses saved up. Don't forget moving costs, deposits for a place to live, and other hidden fees that will come up.
Yes, they will come up. Like I underestimated how many luggage we were going to need, and so I ended up ordering like 3 more. And I mean, they weren't that expensive in the big scheme of things because they were like at the time maybe about $179 a piece. So let's just round it up with taxes and stuff to 200. So that's an extra $600. Now, when you're moving to another country, $600 should not make you or break you, but still, right? So thank you, Patricia. We really appreciate you. Where's the income coming from? There are remote work opportunities, but remember, if you're seeking residency, you must have a letter from your job saying that you are allowed to work in that country. All right. Especially if you are doing like a remote work or digital nomad visa. But if you're just going to bop around, then you don't even have to worry about that. But if you if you think your job is not going to know that you're out of the country,
they will.
They'll
find out.
They'll find out eventually. So
unless you're IT.
Unless you're IT, yeah, then maybe you can maybe you can figure out how you can duck and dodge, right? So yeah, remote work opportunities. The second thing about the income that you can think about,
side hustle.
Yeah, we're going to be launching our side hustle community where we are going to support each other in helping each other build our businesses. Look for that. Probably I'll have that ready by Sunday because the side hustle challenge information will be released on Sunday as well. And so I want the folks who are in the current challenge to also have an opportunity to brainstorm with other people. Dividends, passive income streams, that can help you pay bills while you're abroad, right? If you're still, and while you're still getting settled. So depending upon how much money you have in your brokerage account, if you're over 59 and a half, or even if you're not, you can start moving money from 401ks and IRAs IRAs and things like that, and start moving that so that 3, 4, 5 years from now, you can have access without penalty, just the taxes.
Or if you have rental income.
Right? We had about 5 or 6 one-on-one coaching calls over the last 2 or 3 days. Y'all been hitting us up. And I would say more than half of them had more than 2 houses. Mm-hmm. Some of them had like 3, 4, right? So y'all got it going on. You just don't know that you have it going on. All right. What else?
pensions. Understand the tax implications for private versus public pensions versus Social Security.
There's different tax implications in every country, right? Every country treats those things differently. And it depends upon the tax treaty. So make sure that you talk to a tax person so that you understand what you're getting yourself into, and then keep your deposits in your American bank just to avoid scrutiny, right? It like we don't know if the melon felon is ever going to leave that office. And so for right now, look, let's just stay under the radar. Don't have your check coming to a foreign bank. If you're doing it right, then you'll move chunks of money at one time, via wire or something like that. It's one cost, maybe $25 or something like that to do that, and 15 maybe
Right.
euro on our side, right? To do that huge chunk so you can have your money piling up in your American bank and you don't have to worry about that. Number 4, understand visa and residency requirements.
Each country has specific visa routes and requirements.
That's right.
So many have routes for retirees,
right,
or folks with passive income.
As we just said, some have routes routes. I say routes for investors or digital nomads, and remote workers, right? So there's there's student visas, right? There's different kinds of visas. Understand which ones you qualify and maybe which ones would be the easiest and fastest. For a lot of you, a student visa might be it, especially with school coming up. And school over here is very, 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 very inexpensive. And some places will even let you do like language school for a student visa.
Right.
All right. And maybe you would have to take that language at a university or something like that class at a university. But yeah, some countries will allow that. So check it out.
Well, the show that we did with LaBoss, and that's how he got to stay, is he took
language class. That's how it starts. Right. So each country's immigration department will have a website, right? And with a general list of what the requirements are. So all you have to do is go to the country that you're interested in, Google their immigration department, and look for their visa requirements, right? And it will be there. Number 5.
Number 5 is health and insurance.
Healthcare. I know I made some additions to this, so let me see right quick, y'all. Because everything did not update. Okay. I thought I changed that. Okay. In our Move Abroad toolkit, sorry, y'all. In our Move Abroad toolkit and the Ready to Retire toolkit are links to the databases that have health quality as a search filter. All right. So it has health quality, but not healthcare costs. So for healthcare costs,
Google and expat groups will help you piece together the costs.
Right. So discriminating for pre-existing conditions, y'all, discriminating for pre-existing conditions is not the law everywhere. It's not the law most places because most places have universal health care.
Right.
And so they don't have to worry about that. So it's not against the law in other parts of the world. So like here in Portugal, for pre-existing, we had to prove 3 to 5 years. They preferred 5 to make sure that they were going to totally cover continuous healthcare coverage or insurance, right? Throughout that time to cover the pre-existing condition. All right. And so that's what we had to do. Other countries may have their insurance companies because, it's regulated. The insurance companies are regulated by the country, right? So they might have different rules on what you have to prove, or maybe you don't have to prove. So that's something that you need to check out. Number 6.
Get your documents in order. You might need a certified copy of your birth certificate. Of course, a passport that has more than 6 months before expiring. You'll need your financial statements, maybe an FBI check. And it might have to be apostille too.
That's right.
So watch out for that. If you have a rental property, you might look to show copies of the leases or the money going into your bank.
Make sure you have digital copies of everything, y'all. Okay. Take pictures of everything. And remember, because this big ugly bill passed, there's going to be an increase in the amount of reporting that we have to do. All right. And so what we don't know right now, because it didn't say, is at what level we will have to report for FBAR and for gifts from foreign people. So there's that piece. And then they want to move up the day we have to file taxes. See, if you live in a foreign country, our taxes are not due until June 15th or something like that. We're not due in April. They give us a little extra time. Well, you know, the melon felon ain't gonna do anything that's gonna help anybody else. And so there's no point, there's no reason to do this except for cruelty. There's no reason to do this except for cruelty. So just being a butthole, It makes no sense. All right. Number 7.
Settle your affairs in the United States.
Start closing out your life in your home country. All right. So we know we've got people who are watching from the UK. We've got people watching from France and Australia, of course, Portugal, etc. So close out your life in your home country. Get your estate sorted.
Yeah. Get your wills sorted.
How do you get out of your apartment or house lease? Can you sublet it? How much would it cost to buy it out, etc.?
Know if you're going to keep or sell your properties.
Yeah, you might be looking for a management company. You need to decide whether you're going to long-term rent it out, if you're going to keep it, or are you going to do totally short-term rentals like an Airbnb, or are you going to do semi-short-term like 6 months with traveling nurses or an executive firm that has executive housing? All of those, you've got a lot of options, right? So do your Googles, investigate, and see what one works for you.
And this one's kind of very important to do. Freeze your credit.
Freeze your credit.
Don't close your credit cards. Freeze your credit so no one can go and check on your credit. No one can get new cards or anything. And you can freeze it indefinitely if you want.
That's right. That's right. And it's free. So go to every single credit bureau.
Go right online and do it.
TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. All 3 of them, and freeze them. Now, here's how it goes. Like when I went back to the United States to get my name put on my dad's bank account, of course, when he was alive, I went on my phone. The bank person, because they couldn't okay me because my credit was frozen. So I just went on my phone and they told me which one, Equifax, whatever. I logged in, I unfroze it. They approved me. They got me on. I froze it back up right there in the bank while they were doing the rest of the paperwork. Okay. You can freeze it and unfreeze it that easily. So there's no excuse. And y'all, you do not want to be in a foreign land and have somebody in the United States trying to buy a house with your information, with your social security number or anything else.
Because you won't find out until it's too late.
Until it's too late. Exactly. So this is an easier way to do, at least first and second level protection on identity theft.
Yeah. Make sure you know how you will do doable authentication. Double. Can't read. Double authentication with your banks, establishments from foreign countries.
Right. So one of the things, we all want to keep our United States phone numbers for various reasons. And one of my main reason was because my mama was not going to learn how to do WhatsApp or anything else. Okay. But then the second reason is so we've got double authentication with all of the banks. They haven't gotten hip to the skip to do the authenticator apps. So usually they want to text you a number or something like that. Google Voice works with some institutions. We know some people who have gotten their American banks to actually text them with their Portuguese number, but you've got to do that check and make sure that all of that's going to work out for you.
Yeah. Decide what to do with your mail. You can choose a family member or a mail service. Do your Googles and find out.
Yeah, do your Googles. We didn't use a mail service, so we can't give you any recommendations, but we know that they exist. And there's different levels of service. They will scan your mail. They will send your mail on, et cetera, et cetera. So, do your Googles and figure that out. That should be on your list. Y'all, in the Move Abroad Toolkit is a lot of this information. Again, make sure you understand all of the tax implications, especially in light of this crazy behind bill. Consider the impact of reduced foreign earned income tax credit, all right? Because they are lowering that to what? We don't know. On Sunday, we said if it passes, it's going to be lowered. It passed today. And but they did not have numbers yet. God, I don't know. Anyway, they didn't have numbers to put on it. They asked these MFs if they would consider not reducing the taxes on people that made over $1 billion. And them MFers said no. They said this will save 71 million children and blah, 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 whoop-de-whoop. They said no. No. That's what they said. I just can't. Anyway, look, the clock is ticking. The United States is turning into something that I don't know. I don't want to be a part of, right? The political situation is bad and it's getting worse.
Yeah, you deserve better. You don't have to sit there and wait for things to get even more hostile. There are opportunities out everywhere.
Right? To live freely and without that daily fight for survival and struggle.
Don't feel stuck. Don't let yourself get into that position where you just feel stuck and hopeless.
Exactly. So make the move, y'all. Be the Harriet Tubman of your family, right? Yeah. And clear that pathway, whether it's for a better life, for safety, for peace of mind, for a fresh start, maybe to protect your kids, right? We've helped families with kids move to get their babies out of having to do shooter drills and all kind of nonsense. Do not wait until tomorrow to start planning. Take control of your future before the next landmine blows up, because it's going to do it. And with that, we're going to leave it there. We love y'all.
We love you.
If you have more questions on how to do this move abroad, we offer one-on-one coaching, as we said before. That information is in the description below. If money is the issue, if you need to get your money straight, our program is called Beyond the Bling. That's our financial independence program for late bloomers. We talked about our Fire Over 50 Facebook group. If you want to support the channel, join, become a member. We offer special perks. We give special behind the scenes. We do special lives just for our members out there in the international streets. And every other Thursday are, what are they called? Utopian Legends. I knew there were legends. I couldn't remember Utopian, y'all. You know that's pitiful. Our Utopian Legends join us on air to talk about the topics of the day and how they relate to life abroad, getting our money straight, or travel.
Because you always say urban.
I always want to say an urban legend.
You say, I don't mean urban. Yeah.
I always want to say, because,
urban legend.
Exactly. All right. We love y'all, and we will see you on Sunday. Go out there, be safe tomorrow.
Please be safe.
We're gonna do an uncelebration here. We are not celebrating White Folks Independence Day, but we are taking the time to rest and hang out with friends. So we love y'all. Take care.